Hello, welcome to week 1 of top plays in the ASL. I am TCP, or the Crispy Panda, and I will be taking over top plays for the remainder of this season. You may know me as the coach of the Hartford Whalers, or the Season 4 champion. And I'll be jumping right into it. So, this week had a few outplays and outpreps. Starting off with White Ferret versus AZ. Looking into this battle, Mega Metacham was a huge threat to win this game because White Ferret's team is very fat and bulky, but it gets broken very easily by Mega Metacham. Also, it has no real immediate offensive answer to Mega Metacham other than Scarfers. So if we start the replay real quick, Claydol is brought into a Thunder Punch, and Claydol is very low, but it's threatening to be Yachi Berry, because the standard prep for Mega Metacham is a bulky Psychic type. Claydol is a bulky Psychic type. Mega Metacham can counter Claydol with Ice Punch, and Claydol can counter Ice Punch with Yachi Berry. But instead of pulling out the Ice Punch, revealing the Yachi Berry, and maybe getting exploded on, Mega Metacham reveals Double Edge, which is pretty nice tech for Claydol, and ends up surpassing the Yachi Berry. You get a third layer of out-prepping Ferret, and without this defensive answer, it makes it a lot harder to deal with Mega Metacham, even though it was a huge threat to even begin with. Moving on to the second top play, we're going to have me versus Hutch. And this is about midway through the battle. It's pretty even, 5-5. I have my Magneton out against this Bishop. Just as I go for a safe HP fighting. And then here I'm able to set up screens, which Hutch probably wasn't expecting by the fact that he made this double, probably predicting me to switch into something like Milotic to heal it up. And after screens are up, it's very difficult for him to deal with my offensive threats, considering his team is a very offensive team himself, and just lets me capitalize and get a bunch of kills with Mega Latios, even if he tried to fake out into return, which would normally kill me. So I'm able to get some free kills pretty much on Primarina with Psyshock and Steelix with HP fighting, and pretty much just turn around the momentum of this game, turning it from a 5-5 pretty even game to a 2-5 heavily in my favorite game. Moving on, we have Excellent Name versus Dave. Dave. So looking right into this, Rotom is a nice lead for Dave. Theoretically, on Ian's team, his only real answers to it could be Mega Altaria and Raikou. Raikou's in on it right now. But Raikou wants to be healthy for, I'm assuming that it's AV or something bulky like that to take on Mega Pidgeot. And he doesn't really want to get too low in case it's like Hyper Beam Mega Pidgeot. So he would like to keep it healthy. So he decides to Volt Switch out, potentially in case Dave switched. He goes into Palossand, and then he doubles into Altaria. And right here, Dave would believe if it's physical, he can check it with a Will-O-Wisp and get some chip on it. Kind of like how he Will-O-Wisped the Raikou before, was getting chip on it, which is really nice for hindering it. So he decides to go for the Will-O-Wisp. He's faster. But Ian reveals the Facade. So Facade is really nice because once it's set up, everything but Stakataka nothing but Stakataka can really deal with this Mega Altaria. And it pretty much essentially gave Ian a free +1 to all of his Facade attacks in the future. and he eventually it leads for him to finish off this game. So the last top play we have this week is Vish versus Demaster. While all the other plays were kind of out prep situations where people got a good read of their opponents before going into the battle and kind of had these situations going on this mind. This is kind of an interesting play because Vish here, he has the Comfey in. Comfey is notorious for setting up calm mines and sweeping with Draining Kiss. But clearly the Master has a Bronzong who's very healthy in the back and a Nidoqueen that's still alive. So the Master can do a few things in this situation. He can reveal the Iron Head, which will do a lot to Comfey. He can go hard Bronzong, which could potentially wall this. And he could go Nidoqueen, which would also kind of wall and kind of provide an offensive answer to this. So, but for Mew is always an option because the set isn't revealed yet. So what Vish decides to do is, in all of those three main plays, the Nidoqueen, the Bronzong, and the Iron Head play, Gyarados is a fine option for all of those situations, but the Master gets ahead of Vish, either planning on chipping Comfey to see how much, if it's bulky or if it's offensive invested. So he decides to Fusion Bolt instead, and he catches the Gyarados. And without the Gyarados, Vish really can't. He's already behind after losing his Mega Kangaskhan win condition, but he really can't do anything to really come back in this game after Gyarados is gone. And it really just secures the Master's victory in all of this. So we only got 4 this week. If you next week you feel that you've made any plays, or if you see any plays, there's the forums in the ASL Discord channel to submit a top play. It would be really appreciative if you submit top plays, because then I don't have to go in and choose them myself. And that's all for this week of ASL Top Plays.